Hello everyone, welcome back to our coverage of the 2021 Monkey Island Open. I am Danny, joined by Anthony Vandenheuvel, and we've seen these guys on the card so far battling some serious wins. But we've got through the front nine, and we are let's jump into the back nine.
Let's get blown into the back.
That's actually
Jumping doesn't seem like a good idea. We're just going to get blown over into the backside.
If we do jump, we'll land a few feet over because the wind is that strong.
Yeah, exactly.
So hole 10 out here at Monkey Island is a par 3, 256 feet. It's usually just going to be like a putter shot or overstable approach disc. You're just trying to get something through the gap and let it fade. But there is OB in the Monkey Island short and also deep left and past the sidewalk.
Right. There's a pretty strong wind here. I think that's a harp from Kyle. You just want to take something fairly overstable and just get it between these trees. Oh, man.
Wow,
that's something super overstable, and it just dropped like a rock.
The air bounce there, man.
Yeah.
This is Josiah, and that is perfect.
That's parked, and I bet if he throws that exact same disc on the exact same line in calm conditions, he's 20 feet in the water.
Yeah. Oof. These guys are kind of all over this basket.
Right? This is one that you think is another gotta get birdie, but in these conditions, it's just so...
That was only about a foot over the top of the chains there. Great shot from Isaac.
He struggled a lot on the front, but that'd be a great way to start the back. Just ring one up and turn the jets on.
Ooh,
huge
commanding putt there. Yeah, if we put some force behind that one.
Tried to take the basket out of the ground.
You kind of have to.
Yup, straight headwind like that. Kyle telling the disc, you better stay in there.
Yup. Oh, John just caught the right side.
Oh, man, that's like 3 or 4 putts where if he could just change it by an inch or two, his score would be drastically different.
And just an absolute park job from Josiah.
Yeah, that's great.
Hole 11 here actually also has a different tee pad. It's farther back behind it. It's just a longer version of the same shot, and that actually makes the gap a little bit harder because it's a little bit wider. And the basket is actually in the short position here. So it's just a 241-foot par 3. How straight can you throw it and not be left in the creek?
Right.
The forehand's not a bad play. You're probably not going to park it with a forehand, but it'll get you a putt, that's for sure.
Yeah, the forehand to park it is almost, it's like a forced flex shot. But with this wind, anything that gets over, it's just going to get slammed. See, just
Exhibit
like that.
A, there you go,
Exactly like that. I think that's the same disc as what he threw on the previous hole. So we know it's overstable, and it never had a chance of coming out.
It's a great shot from John there. Good touch on the turnover.
That's a condor.
Oh. That's like a super class disc. Isaac's here. Finally got the release timing right. This is looking fantastic. Off the basket.
Oh.
And it's rolling, and it's in the OB.
No.
That was a roller coaster of emotions from the second it left his hand.
Back-to-back ace runs. One of them hits cage, and at best he's going to be looking at a 3. Oh. It's tough to even feel bad for Matt going OB there. Like, that really sucks. But after Isaac's, it's just like, man.
Just in comparison.
Gosh.
Isaac there, able to save his 3, but that, man, he did all he could there.
Unfortunate break. Bummer for Matt as well. What a brutal basket.
Yeah.
Oh, golly, just give him one.
Dude could use a break.
Kyle squeaking that one over.
Hole 12 here is the infamous Peninsula hole, 321 feet. The basket has OB inside the circle on the front and back side. But most people are just going to play a forehand, kind of throw it at the basket, let it fade, and in calm conditions you have a jumper. In these conditions you have a definite layup.
And this is actually a different condor from John.
Okay.
He might be the only person in the world that not only throws the condor, but throws multiple condors in his bag.
Kyle here, it's that Glimmer Felon. And that
skipper.
That was closer to the OB than he intended, but, you know, it's not a bad result. It's kind of the more you push the OB, the closer you are to the basket.
Right. This is the more traditional, like you said, just throw it at the basket on hyzer, and that needs to stop.
There we go.
Good.
Isaac here also going forehand. And as you can see, the wind coming off the water is like a headwind left to right. It's just lifting everything.
Put him in a pretty decent spot, though. He'll have a nice straight little layup at it.
Which makes the play for 3 super easy on this one.
Yes. Yeah, if you could put your disc anywhere, right where Kyle's is where you would want to be, looking straight down that peninsula.
John here just pitching up. Anytime you see a disc like changing angles after it hits the ground, the wind could catch it and just just disrespectfully throw it OB.
Oh gosh.
That wind got underneath it a little bit, but
yeah, see, that's great. That's such a good spot to just lay it up. Kyle's going to run it, it looks like. Nope. Smart play from everybody there.
Just stress-free. Kyle's in the solo lead at this point.
Right. So, he's more in maintain mode where everyone else still has to push. Kyle is probably just thinking, hey, if I can keep playing safe and smart.
Mm-hmm. Hole 13 here is actually a different tee pad as well. It's the off to the right. It's kind of a tunnel shot off the top, and then the basket is in that pin position right there. So it's kind of a hyzer flip to turnover shot in calm conditions, but that does bring the water on the left into play if you don't flip it enough. So a lot of our players are going to be going with a forehand here just to fade away from the water the whole time. That was an enforcer from Kyle, and unfortunately caught some cabbage, but he should be okay to pitch up from there. Yeah, it's a fantastic shot from John.
It really is, because this is an already bad tree kick there, but it's an already super difficult angle to hit, and then in the wind, it's almost something that like an understable flight, but into a screaming headwind.
Yeah.
And if you pick the wrong disc, you're OB in the water. So the sidearm is a safer play, but it's almost guaranteed that you're not getting the 2. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was talking about, where if you don't pick the right disc, if you don't hit the right angle, you're a mile in the water.
Isaac's shot looked really clean out of his hand. If it just flips more, it's parked, but that's so hard to tell in 40 miles an hour of headwind.
Yep. Kyle basically re-teeing.
Mm-hmm. And that's just shy of the basket, shy of the tree, inside the circle, but saved by the flag.
John from downtown, maybe. Oh, just a little high.
That's. Kyle just off the left side for his par save. Ooh, that's a solid birdie.
Yeah. Lucky to get that one. Not lucky, but a good catch in these conditions.
Yeah.
That should tie things up once Kyle drops in his bogey here.
Oh, yeah.
We've got ourselves a game.
Swings can happen a lot in this wind.
Oh, yes.
Moving on to hole 14 here. This one's a par 3, 401 feet. It does play uphill, so it plays a little bit longer than that. Normally, you'd throw distance driver, just flip it up to flat, let it fade gently. It's a fairly straightforward distance shot. That kind of gets turned on its head when you have a 40-mile-an-hour headwind.
Right.
It was absolutely screaming through here. I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the most overstable discs in Josiah's bag there. It just flipped over.
Yeah, it came out on a little bit of hyzer and just never had a chance of fading.
John put all of the hyzer on that one, maybe a little bit too much.
Yep.
He's caught up in the left. Matt here definitely has the power to reach this hole in this headwind.
Yeah, Matt's not scared to throw it hard. Just a little bit low out of his hand there. It looked like it had a decent angle to it.
This is a Lucid X Enforcer from Kyle here. And those are hard to get to fly very far at all because they're just so overstable.
Even in 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Isaac here, this looks a little left, but that is perfect angle.
Oh, yeah.
Needs to
settle right there.
Just barely in the trees. That's a fantastic shot.
Just scooting along the ground there.
There's Matt's upshot, and he's farther away than Isaac is. Putting a justice as an upshot.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of I don't think we're in Kansas anymore? We're probably in Kansas now.
Wow, that's a huge putt.
Another commanding putt from Matt there, jamming it in.
Awkward stance from the tree. Look at that flag just ripping.
Oh,
good
Isaac got it to
stick.
stick in the right side. That's got to feel good coming off of a rough stretch.
Look at that thing lift. Wow. Good par save there for Kyle.
Keeping pace with
upside
Josiah?
down?
Maybe? I don't know. I've heard that's a good
think he might
strategy in the
have.
wind. I just never practice it, and so I'm scared.
Yeah, 40-mile-an-hour winds in a tournament doesn't seem like the ideal time to try.
The hole 15 here is a par 3, 393 feet. It's either a turnover or a forehand. The really only danger is the OB to the right. The OB deep can come into play as well, but most people are going to be throwing a fairway driver or something that's not going to quite get that distance. But again, they have a pretty strong headwind. It is blocked by the trees late, so it's hard to play for the turn at the beginning, but not the fade at the end. So this is 100% safe play from Isaac here. Just dump it out to the left and take your upshot. Kind of more of the same here from Josiah.
I think that's going to be the common play of just almost throw the exact same shot that you just did on hole 14.
Yeah.
And just bail out way left.
It's a smash of a forehand.
Got the sidearm to get there.
Getting
Holy
aggressive.
cow.
That's the tree. That's another tree that everybody just seems to end up in frequently. But he ended up on the far side of it, so he might have a look from there. This is an extremely safe play from Kyle.
Yeah, I don't think Kyle meant to play it that safe.
Yeah, possibly. We just say he's really smart. If
Yes.
smart golf is laying up over there is just gigabrain golf.
That's a great shot from John.
Yeah, that's the closest. Oh, besides Matt, but that's the closest unobstructed putt of the bunch.
I believe that's that same soft judge there from Kyle.
It just flops when it hits the ground.
Yup, I know I can throw this close. I'm going to leave it right there.
Matt for his 2 off the band. The worst sounding disc golf right there.
Man, fought through the tree and everything.
Isaac, you got to imagine at this point he's trying to make everything.
Oh, 100%. Coming into this with a 3-stroke lead or a 2-stroke lead maybe.
I think he was tied. I think there was 2 of them that were 3 down.
Okay. Well, coming in 3 down and the way that the front got away from him, he's gunning for everything at this point, trying to salvage what he can.
Trying to get a highlight on the cameras. But again, this is a hole like you're not upset by par. Because there's danger to the right and the wind. There's some big numbers can come.
Oh, yes.
Hole 16 here is a par 3, 515 feet. It definitely doesn't play like a par 3 in these conditions. It's been a par 4 in the past, but the shot here is just a big flex shot that finishes towards the basket, but nobody's going to be throwing that right now. Pretty much everybody's going to be playing for 100 feet short, just safe, and then pitch up from there.
Just like Isaac is right here. This is exactly what you're looking for. Just bail out left. He might have pushed that a little bit too far and have a slightly pinched off second shot, but anything that beats these little trees and just gives you an open approach into the green is what they're all going to be looking for.
For sure. Josiah's keeping it low to stay out of the wind there. It's a smart play. Another cannon sidearm from Matt.
Golly, what a tool to have.
And like it's the top of the flight plate's into the wind the whole time, so it's just going to get smashed, but it's never in any danger.
Yep.
Kyle flexing some sidearm distance too.
Look at him. Anything you can do, I can do better, he says.
This is a much more aggressive line out of John.
Yes, it is.
And that's getting carried by the wind, so he's getting distance, but it pinches down towards the green, and it's just a little too much.
Yep, and that's the risk with that shot. Obviously, if you burn it into the river, but if you don't, then that OB is right there.
A little too much gas. That's okay. Gave it a little too much onion there.
Yeah.
But ended up with a slightly obstructed putt, but it's not very far. It's only about 10 feet.
We needed minced onion, and Matt gave us sliced.
Yeah, like a cupful, too. Just way too much. Isaac here. It's got some pep in its step, too.
Looks like an overstable mid or something to just put him close. I like that a lot.
Checked up right there. That's good. It's one of those baskets that always seems to be muddy.
Right? Just kind of that slight little downhill slope there.
John washing his disc so it stops rolling. 'Cause on hole 1, it rolled like 50 feet.
100%. I'm going to do it every single time if I'm him. Oh,
Good run from Kyle, just a bit high. And Matt makes good for his par. Isaac as well.
3 feels about best case scenario in this hole. Unless you throw something in, I don't think anyone is doing this in these conditions.
Yeah, in these conditions for sure. Moving on to holes.
Fours.
Yeah, moving on to hole 17 here is a par 3, 272 feet. This one's kind of blocked from the wind by all the trees, so it's going to play fairly normal, just a forehand shot if you have it, or you can get a turnover there. The real danger with the forehand is finishing early or too much to the right, in which case you could roll OB, or you can just go deep. The turnover backhand can get caught up in these branches early, but for the most part, you're just going to see a sidearm here.
Yeah, after the stretch of holes that these guys have played, that's a great shot by Matt.
Circle
as if we expected anything less. But these guys are definitely going to be licking their chops at this one as a one of the few birdie opportunities on the day.
Another fantastic shot here.
Josiah. Kyle is not scared to throw sidearms as well.
And this one catches an edge. She's
going
on a trip over the mountain through the woods.
Oh, look at that thing go. Later.
He's what, 50 feet out down there?
At least, if it ever stopped.
It's the Condor again, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Throwing a super class disc. That seems...
It
works for him. In the wind, those tend to get lifted a lot more. He must know something I don't. He was trying to make that, but...
A little bit of a half go there. Oh! Up and
just over
there.
The top.
It's never a good feeling when you putt and then everyone looks at you and they're like, hey man, you're still out. Like, you gotta go putt again.
Jam sesh from John for the birdie. Kyle cleaning up for his par. Josiah getting the one-stroke lead.
Yep. 2 to go. Grabbing
Matt's
the lead.
only one behind him. Hole 18 here is a par 3, 280 feet. It's pretty straightforward. One of those big trees actually fell down last year sometime, so it's just going to be a putter shot. There's not too much of a ceiling to worry about. You're just trying to put it close and have your tap in. I was actually waiting on the card on the next hole to finish, and so I'm not even looking.
Danny said, they're not going to throw good shots anyways.
And then they're parked, of course, and I missed it. It's a great shot from Matt. Josiah here. This is flipped. This is concerning.
And this is kind of one of the first holes where you have a little bit of relief from the wind. Those trees block a decent bit of it.
Yeah.
So you're not fighting all of the wind, just maybe half of the wind. Which is still a lot of wind, for the record. Oh, scoot.
It gets to skip forward, but that ground just took a lot of speed off of it.
Still short, yeah. Kyle's maybe a fairway or a mid, it looks like.
Just, it's not a bad finish. Just inside the circle, way down there. Josiah just pitching up for his 3. He's in the lead, but just by 1. He knows Matt's parked, so.
Right.
Oh, Kyle with a big putt.
Huge hit for Kyle. Wow.
Bringing him into the tie.
That's
Josiah.
huge. With 18A being no gimme hole, being able to make that putt is huge for Kyle.
Oh, jam sesh.
What a putt.
From downtown. And Matt makes good for his 2, so we've got a 3-way tie going into the last hole here.
Into the final hole.
This is hole 18A. It's a par 3, 300 feet. The shot's going to be kind of a hyzer flip shot that finishes to the right because there is OB down the left the whole way. You could also go with a forehand, but you need it to not fade too much because this ground is really skippy and there is OB deep on the right.
Yeah, the forehand requires a ton of finesse. Matt has a great sidearm game.
He thinks he's up to the task here. He's missed all the trees. That is finished.
Settle.
That is outside the circle to the right, but it's not a bad look.
Right. The first thing you're looking at. Oh, sick.
What?
super tiny window there for
That's
John.
not the gap you're going for, but
Yeah,
I mean, it worked out.
That is not the gap on the left side.
Fantastic shot there. Kyle here. Looks like an EMAC maybe?
Yep.
Just a little too much hyzer.
That's trouble.
Yeah. That is unfortunately deep in the OB. He's looking at a 4 from there.
So right here, all Josiah's got to do is just throw a safe shot.
That he does.
He knows that Matt is safe inbounds, not near the basket. Just give himself a 3 here.
Oh.
That is the obvious danger on this hole, is just getting a bad kick and going OB like we saw happen to Kyle. He wherever he went out, he has to try and make it, just to keep pace with Josiah and Matt.
Oh, he thought he had it. He started running it down.
Man.
It looked good. There's Matt running that, trying to just win it here.
Yep, a little bit of a go there. Ugh. Isaac just can't buy one.
Man, we've all had those days.
Unfortunate finish there for Isaac.
Josiah making good on his par. Kyle's got this for bogey.
Unfortunate finish for Kyle as well.
He could have been in the hunt. Matt tapping in for his par, and it looks like we've got a playoff. So they're going to just start going through the course again. We're back on hole 1, par 3, 375, just hyzer over the baseball fields.
Yeah, and Matt and Josiah, I believe they came down together. They're both from the Des Moines area.
Okay.
So they are no stranger to playing against each other and with each other. So I think they're pretty good friends here. Super heated battle, I'm sure. Much smack talk going to be talked.
I might have put the wrong clip in. This looks like the same shot as hole 1.
That was copy-paste the same shot. Unbelievable.
Oh, no, the right side's down for Matt here, and the wind just smashed it, and that ended up OB.
Bummer. So he's pretty much just got to try and throw this in blind, the biggest spike hyzer. Unfortunately, not the day for that to go in. Josiah just chipped that up.
The jumper at 1,000,000 miles an hour from 34 feet.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Always good to see some good sportsmanship out there.
I like the coordinating outfits, too.
Yeah, that's honestly probably why they were both in the playoff, honestly.
I'd believe it. They wore purple, and look, playoff.
There we go. Doesn't work for the Vikings always. Anyways, congratulations, Josiah, for winning the Monkey Island Open. Peter Pan is a fantastic course. Definitely check it out if you're ever in town. Thanks for joining me for the commentary, Anthony, and thank you for watching. Make sure you check out the other round coverage that we have. That'll be linked on the end screen here. And make sure you subscribe for more content from Dynamic Discs. We'll catch you next time.